Okay, so hopefully most of you have watched that song and it's helped you understand it a little bit better. So the numerator is the part that we're looking for, and the denominator is the whole amount of the item. So say for example this first pie we have here. So say that this is apple pie and I love apple pie. So there's how many pieces in this pie? So there's 1, 2. So what's our denominator? So our denominator is all, so it's 2. Now I eat one part. So I eat one part of it. So how much have I ate? So there was a whole, so there was 2 pieces. So I ate 2. Okay. Now, how many pieces are left after I eat a bit of it? So I've eaten 1 piece, so there's going to be half left. So there's going to be half. So 1 over 2. So there's 1 over 2 left. Okay, so I ate 1 of the pieces. There's only 2 altogether. So there's 1 piece over 2 left. So 1 out of 2 pieces left. What about this pie? This is cherry pie. So I'm not a big fan of cherry pie. So how many pieces did I eat? So there's how many pieces there? There's 1, 2, 3 altogether. So our 3 goes on the bottom because that's how many pieces all together. Now, how many pieces did I eat? So how many pieces did I eat? So how many pieces are left? There's 1, 2, 3 out of 3 left. So how many pieces did I eat? So I ate none. So I ate 0 pieces. So I asked how many pieces did I eat? I didn't eat any of it, so I ate 0 out of 3. Now for this this pie down here, so I ate, let's see how much I ate. So there's how many pieces altogether? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 pieces altogether. So we put our 4 as our denominator. So we put 4 down there. So I ate 4 pieces altogether. So we 4 pieces altogether, and I ate, let's see, so how many pieces did I not eat? So I'm asking how many pieces did I not eat? So there's 4 pieces there. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 all together. And how many pieces are left after my lunch? So there's still 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces left. So there's 4 pieces out of 4. Okay, so there's 4 pieces left. Okay, now this last piece down here, this last pie. So maybe I came back after lunch and I thought I was hungry, so I had some of this pie. Now, what's different about this pie? Just look at it for 1 second. So there's something different about it. Okay, 5 seconds. See if you can spot the difference between that and the rest of the pies. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this pie has 1, 2 pieces. But now, are those pieces equal? Do those pieces seem equal? No, they don't. So we can't use a fraction when the pieces aren't equal. Okay, so what we might do is we might drag over a piece from over here and make it all equal. Okay, so how many pieces do we have here now? So we still have the same amount, but we've just cut it up into bigger or smaller sections. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Now, how many do we have in the pie as a whole again? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 pieces altogether. And now how many do we have left? So we have 1, 2, 3, 3 left, don't we? So if you only have 3 left, we've got 3 on the top, because I'm asking how many pieces are left. So you have 3 on the top, and you have 4 on the bottom, because 4 is the total amount that we have all together. So the total amount, and 3 is what we were looking for. So we were looking for what was left, and there's 3 pieces out of 4 possible pieces left. Okay, because if we add 1 back in, we get our 4 pieces. We have to leave that back over there because we already ate that piece. Okay, so these are the fractions. So we should know those pretty easily. So what we have to help us is a fraction wall. Okay, so a fraction wall helps us to see which fractions are equal to each other and which fractions are smaller and smaller and smaller. And we'll see that in a second. Okay, so here are our different fractions. So we've got 1 over 7, 1 over 1, 1 over 12, 1 over 11, 1 over 9, and 1 over 2. Okay, so let's look at the top one, the first line we have here, so the first row. So this is one full line. So how many pieces do we have in just this line? So just in this one, how many pieces do we have altogether? We have 1. Okay, so how many pieces of this 1 do we have on the top line? Do we have more than 1 piece in the top line? No. So our 1 over 1 goes on the top line, and sometimes we just call that 1, but this means the exact same thing. So 1 divided by 1 is 1. So it just stays up there on the top like that. Now this second row here, so how many pieces does it have altogether? It has 1, 2. So where does the 2 go again? So the total amount of numbers. So total amount of pieces, where do they go? They go on the top or bottom? 3, 2, 1, the bottom. Okay, so it goes on the bottom. So watch, what number are we looking for on the bottom? We have 1, 2. So what number are we looking for on the bottom? Okay, so 2. So can we see a 2 on the bottom somewhere? So we have a 2 here. So 1 over 2, because it's 1 piece. This is 1 piece out of 2. Okay, so this one here. This is 1 piece out of how many? We have 1, 2, 3. So this one we're looking for, this one, this little block, is 1 piece out of 3. So, oh, here it is. So we're going to drag that over. And now the one below it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks all together. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're looking for 1 block out of it. So what's that fraction going to be? So there's 4 blocks all together, and we're looking for 1. So it's going to be 1 over 4. Okay, 1 over 4, or a quarter as we call it. Okay, so 1 over 4. So next one, what's below that then? So we can kind of see a pattern here. So it's 1 over 1, 1 over 2, 1 over 3, 1 over 4. So how many blocks do we have in this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we're looking for 1 block out of 5, what are we looking for? For 1/5. Okay, so 1/5 or 1 over 5. Okay, so well done. So we have 1 piece out of 1, 1 piece out of 2, 1 piece out of 1, 2, 3, 1 piece out of 4, 1 piece out of 5. What are we looking for next? 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're looking for 1 piece out of 6. Okay. Now, as you can see, they're all getting smaller. Okay. So they're all getting smaller. So is the next one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're looking for 1 piece out of 7. Is it going to be bigger or smaller than 1 over 6? Smaller, isn't it? So 1 over 7 is smaller than 1 over 6. So it's that much smaller. So 1 over 6 is bigger by this much. Okay. So which is bigger? Can you tell me? 1 over 3 or 1 over 6? It's 1 over 3, isn't it? So that's the bigger one. Now, can you tell me, let's see, we'll fill in the rest of these before we move on. So we have 1 over 8. Next one is 1 over 9. Then next one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 pieces altogether. And how many pieces are we looking for out of it? Just 1. So it's 1 over 10. The next one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we've 1 piece out of 11. So it's this one. And the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's 1 piece out of 12. Okay, so I have filled in more completely in here. So we have all of our fractions in. Now I'm going to ask you a few questions. So which is bigger? Now, so if I have 2 over 3, so that's 2 pieces. So 1 and 2 pieces out of how many? 3 altogether. So this amount here, is that bigger or smaller than a half? So 2 over 3, is it bigger or smaller than a half? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's bigger, isn't it? So as you can see here, we'll just highlight it actually. So 1 over 3 is a good bit bigger. It's a good bit bigger than 1 over half. Okay? So 1 over 2 is a good bit smaller than 1 over 3. Now, let's say 3 over 6. So we've 1, 2, 3. So 3 over 6, is it bigger or smaller than 5 over 9? So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 over 9, is 1 over 3 over 6 bigger or smaller than 1 over 9? So which is bigger? This one, isn't it? Perfect, exactly. So it's bigger because it takes up more space than these blocks, these 3 blocks. So 5 of these blocks takes up more space than these 3 blocks. Okay, what about let's say 5 over 10. 5 over 10, is it bigger or smaller than 2 over 4? So 5 over 10, is it bigger or smaller than 2 over 4? Give you 5 seconds. Okay, so let's check. So 5 over 10, is it bigger or smaller than how much? 2 over 4. Okay, so let's see. They're the same, aren't they? So they're not bigger or smaller, they're equal to, aren't they? So we know 2 pieces, so 2 over 4 is the same size as 5 over 10. So it's the same fraction. So as you can see, these are all equal. So they're all equal pieces. So I couldn't ask you for 1/7 and 2/10 of something, because that'll be, you have to add on here and you have to find it equal. Just crossing over and everything. So they have to be equal lengths and equal sizes to be able to compare them. Okay. So if I asked you for last one, 9 over 12. So 9 over 12, is it bigger or smaller than 4 over 5? So 9 over 12, is it bigger or smaller than 4 over 5? So I'll give you 5 seconds. So 9 over 12. So let's count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it stops here. So it's bigger or smaller than 4 over 5? Okay, so 4 over 5 obviously ends here. So which is bigger? Okay, which is bigger? Okay, did you get it right? So clearly 4 over 5 is a bit bigger than 9 over 12. Okay, so 4 over 5 is bigger than 9 over 12. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here on as the last picture, so that when we're doing our exercises in fractions, that we'll be able to look back on this fraction wall and it'll be able to help us compare which fractions are bigger, smaller, and which are the same. Okay, so if you want as well, you can use blocks if you have blocks at home, or there's great online tools that I'll also put a link to that allow you to compare fractions, right? So you can take off pieces, add on pieces. It's great for comparing, alright? Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to do those. And if you have any problems with any of the activities, please don't feel bad about contacting me on Class Dojo. Just it's for your own good, so contact me as quick as you can. Okay, thank you.